Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Always wait until she's in the school. I mean, that's pretty much common sense. You know, it doesn't take rocket science to figure that one out.
Parents are concerned over a viral post of kids waiting outside of Fargo Elementary School in this bitter cold.
And with sub-zero temperatures expected next week, medical experts say you don't want your kids outside. Valley News Team's Joshua Peguero explains.
Joe Jordahl parks beside Clara Barton Elementary School waiting for his granddaughter to get out of school. With bitter cold taking a hold of our area, Jordahl says he never leaves her outside.
I always stop and wait until she goes in the facility, or there's other people there that she goes in with.
In a viral post on the website Nextdoor, a grandparent says she saw several kids Thursday morning waiting for the doors to open. Apparently, they weren't being allowed inside. A Fargo school spokesperson tells us they alerted parents the night before of a 2-hour late start and that doors would be open at 9:45 in the morning. The district says Clara Barton Elementary did open 2 minutes early and there were 5 kids waiting in the cold.
If you're going to bring a child to school, wait until they're in the school before you drive away.
Dr. Robert Bathurst with Essentia Health warns parents of exposing kids to these elements.
The further you get away from the central core, the heart, lungs, abdomen, and so on, the more likely there is to be frostbite.
If your child does end up with frostbite, Dr. Bathurst says heat water to 104 degrees Fahrenheit.
Just put it in there gently. Don't make it too hot, but keep it in there. And the sooner you can get the extremity warmed up, the less likely there will be tissue loss.
As for Fargo schools, they say it's the parents' responsibility to make sure that their child isn't waiting outside before school doors open. Again, unless you want to end up in the emergency room, it's best that you stay indoors during this cold snap, especially young children. In Fargo, Joshua Peguero, Valley News Live.
Essentia Health says kids are also more prone to suffer frostbite than adults because they have smaller limbs.
Compared to what we've been dealing with lately, the temperatures this weekend will seem okay. Anything above zero seems okay. Hutch, first we have to get through a pretty wicked night.
Yeah, it's another wicked night of cold air and dangerous wind chills. We have a wind chill advisory that you've seen crawling across the bottom of your screen. Present wind chills are near 30 below in Fargo. 35 below is what it feels like on exposed skin in Grand Forks. With wind chills in this range, you can expect skin to become frostbitten or freeze in 15 to 30 minutes. Actual air temperatures 22 below for Babe the Blue Ox in Bemidji, 10 below in Jamestown, one of the warmer locations. It does look like your hour-by-hour forecast shows temperatures falling quickly through the overnight hours, but rising towards morning, particularly in our western counties. Wind chill values first thing in the morning between 20 and 35 below, and I do expect that a couple locations in central Minnesota could once again be 30 below for an actual air temperature in the morning. Pretty chilly, warmer weather and some snow to talk about here in a few minutes.
Yeah, we have to take it easy.
Yes.
All right, thanks.
A Nevada man has been sentenced to 45 years in prison for sexually abusing a toddler from the FM area. Prosecutors say 43-year-old Brian Hoagley was convicted on charges of conspiracy to transport a minor and coercion and enticement. Investigators say a co-defendant, 36-year-old Dustin Cooley, took the 1-year-old child from Fargo to Moorhead, where he and Hoagley abused the toddler at a hotel in May 2017. Federal agents working undercover began communicating with Cooley, who said he planned to produce a video of the child being abused. Cooley electronically sent the video to an undercover agent. He was sentenced earlier to 35 years in prison.
An officer-involved shooting that left a Red Lake, Minnesota man dead was legally justified, according to the Beltrami County State's Attorney. Dash cam and body cam video of the shooting was released along with the ruling. Documents say a normal traffic stop on the night of November 28th in Bemidji led to a struggle between the officer and Vernon Andrew John May, who had a felony warrant out for his arrest. The 34-year-old from Red Lake died on the scene. Body cam video shows Officer Duran repeatedly trying to talk down May, and May answers with, "Shoot me." Officer Duran, in fear for his life, fired his gun 9 times, and a deputy Newhouse fired his gun once. The report says all of the shots were fired within 5 seconds of each other.
Lawmakers quickly moved to reopen the federal government hours after President Trump announced a temporary break in the more than month-long impasse. The stalemate eased on day 35 of the partial shutdown as more than 800,000 federal employees missed their second paycheck. Commercial air traffic was snarled, and many other side effects of the longest shutdown continued piling up. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi signed the bill, but Friday's short-term deal doesn't provide money for the president's border wall, so the country could be back in the same place next month.
We really have no choice but to build a powerful wall or steel barrier. If we don't get a fair deal from Congress, the government will either shut down on February 15th again,
or the president said he could use emergency powers to fund the wall, bypassing Congress. Both of North Dakota's U.S. senators issued statements after Trump's announcement this afternoon. Senator Kevin Cramer says he supports the deal. Senator John Hoeven says it's now time to start a plan that includes funding for border security.
Some Fargo families in South Fargo particularly took to the neighborhood app Nextdoor, expressing concerns about school zone speeders.
Now they're asking others to join them in the fight to keep their neighborhoods safe. Valley News Team's Veronica Marshall looks into the new push to protect children. Veronica?
Mike, Andrea, one man calls it a growing epidemic of speeding in school zones and is asking neighbors to help him spread awareness to keep kids safe. It started with a post on Nextdoor.com, and then others chimed in with their own experiences, saying they get passed or even honked at while driving the speed limit in these zones. So we decided to check it out ourselves. I posted up outside of Bennett Elementary School today when students were being dismissed, and a majority of the cars were clocking speeds over the 20 miles per hour limit. Families want Fargo police to make an extra effort when it comes to patrolling school safety zones and have already made their concerns known. Fargo police say they've received the complaint and they're taking it seriously, but it comes down to numbers and need.
We don't have specific officers allocated to all the school zones. We only have a certain number of officers working on any given day too as well, and there's more schools than there are officers. They do take calls for service too as well during those hours. So if they're in that school zone, they get a call for service, they may be called away from there.
Fargo police say the concerns have been shared with their officers and they will make extra efforts to patrol those school speed zones. Andrea?
All right, thanks, Veronica. Across North Dakota, the speed limit for school zones is 20 miles per hour. If you're caught speeding in one of those zones, be prepared for a hefty fine.
Police are asking for your help finding a dangerous dog. It's on the run in Jamestown. The dog is a reddish-brown pit bull, about 70 to 90 pounds, with a white chest and white feet. Now, the animal goes by the name of Blaze. The dog was last seen in the area of the Buffalo Motel in Jamestown this afternoon. Police say that the dog has bit at least 3 people in the last 10 days. If you've seen the dog, call 701-252-1000.
North Dakota lawmakers debated today whether school districts should have the authority to staff an armed responder in their schools. House Bill 1332 proposes that school districts decide if they want an armed responder who would be vetted and trained. There's no language in the bill that requires a teacher to be the armed first responder. One state representative says he believes school resource officers are the best option, but not all school districts have funding for one. Several people spoke in opposition to the bill, saying it would be a liability, regardless of what decision a district would make.